So what to do with people who break security culture? Now, security breaches, when they happen, occur for different reasons. Number one, people gossip, they speculate, and they do this because they're human. I mean, we're all going to do this at some point. People brag, they lie about their involvement, they'll hint heavily that they were involved with something because they get street cred, they get respect, or because they are impulsive, they're intoxicated, or they're just plain ignorant of security culture. Now, all of these behaviors are foolish, if not downright stupid and dangerous, so we have to know how to handle them. These security violations create rumors that can be passed on to listening informers or agents. And that's the reason really not to do it. You never know who's listening. People who do this, in effect, are unwitting informers. If you encounter these behaviors, the first response is to educate. People aren't born knowing about security culture, and they simply may not have encountered good information or training. Make it clear, in private and tactfully, but firmly, that their actions are violating good security culture. Explain what they did, be specific about the behavior, and explain why security culture is important, and point them toward further resources on the subject. Don't let violations pass or become a habit. This has to be ingrained in our culture. So, chronic violators. Some people, unfortunately, are unable or unwilling to maintain good security culture and may become chronic violators. They may not be doing it on purpose. You might like them. They may be your friends, but they may also be acting as informers, either willingly or unwittingly. The only effective way to deal with repeat violators is to cut them off from sources of information. This generally means asking them to leave your group, to not attend meetings or organizing spaces. To allow them to remain, as harsh as it may seem, is to invite security breaches. It would be far harsher in the end to allow potential informers to stay and put activists at risk of potential prosecution. Counterintelligence agents in government and corporations have surveilled, infiltrated, and sabotaged even mainstream anti-war and environmental groups like Greenpeace. Above-ground groups generally do not and should not have critical information that could end up putting people in jail if it got into the wrong hands, but it's not always clear-cut. Infiltrators who train in, quote, safe above-ground groups can go on to do more destructive work, including acting as agent provocateurs in your own community. Those infiltrators can also gather information about who sympathizes with militant or radical causes and learn about social networks and relationships. They can decide which revealing offhand comments and suspicious activists should potentially be investigated. Anyone who likes to ask inappropriate questions or gossip about illegal activities will eventually spill information to those in power, either directly or by discussing it electronically where it can be easily surveilled. Conversely, people who brag or lie about illegal or underground activities or try to plan them with others in public can draw unnecessary and unwanted attention to any resistance group. So you really do have to just sometimes kick people out. People who cannot follow the basic rules of security culture are either deliberate informers or fundamentally unsuitable for serious resistance. Even though it may be painful or unpleasant, such people need to be separated from groups and places where serious resistance is taking place. Now, implied in all of this is how destructive it is to accuse each other of being informants or agents. In serious resistance movements, such accusations get people killed. Paranoia is absolutely corrosive to trust and to relationships, and accusations against innocent people will drive them out. I have seen up close and personal how ugly that can be. If we follow the guidelines of security culture, there is rarely any need to accuse someone of being an agent. What matters is the behavior. If we follow the guidelines of security culture, there is rarely any need to accuse someone of being an agent. What matters is the behavior. If someone is endangering others by asking inappropriate questions or otherwise breaking the protocols of security culture, you address the behavior. If that doesn't work, she is no longer welcome. Speculations and accusations are useless and destructive. Security culture means we don't have to engage in either.